Marsha.
Hi, Amber. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm okay. Thank you for checking in.
Yeah, seeing you
So we don't have
twice.
any more excitement because
Yeah, I know.
being embarrassed from the lady from Washington would be pretty embarrassing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I embarrassed myself in front of the mayor. I'm on a roll.
Was he actually on the meeting? Did they show up or not?
He did. And for some reason, he was there and nobody, I don't know what went wrong. So,
Marsha, I think Mercedes run that thing.
so I'm going to invite him. I want to make sure this meeting went okay. So hopefully he'll come back in January. He said he'd come back.
Yeah. I mean, he was at the Homeless Coalition's meetings before when we
Right.
were actually meeting. I remember seeing him there.
Right. Well, yeah. So, and it might be good timing because they haven't said anything about the money yet.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
so, in fact, they're talking about having a government shutdown on Friday.
Oh, Lord.
Right.
Why?
Well, I mean, we have government grants. I don't know what's going to happen. So, you know, hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where the money is physically.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if it's in the state or not, or the city or not. I know we're supposed to get it. So we want to be able to at least, you know, just a little to help the homeless. Something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. I I probably should invite the city manager as well.
Mhm.
Because he gives I think he gives the recommendations to city council
Oh, okay, well,
along with the mayor. So,
sign
but
him up.
yeah, we just want to be in there somewhere. I know it's homeless populations are not at the top of the list anywhere.
No,
I'm
for sure
aware of
not.
that. So, but this is a one big pot of money. Hey, Michelle, thank you.
I'm so.
Hey, did everyone have a nice Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I did. How did you do?
Oh, ate too much, slept too much, but it was good, all with family.
Right. Yeah, the sleep thing, that was wonderful.
Yes, yes.
I really enjoyed that part of the transaction.
The turkey coma.
Yeah, is that yeah, because of what is it? The
uh,
tryptophan or
yeah,
whatever it is in that.
yeah, tryptophan
Yeah,
or
I like
something.
that part of the whole holiday.
Yeah, me too.
Ah, and so Amber, did you travel or were you in town?
No, actually, my mom and my stepdad and my brother and his wife live here, so they just came to my place.
Oh, okay.
And I cooked the turkey for the first time, and it was
Ooh,
delicious.
Oh,
Yeah, I was pretty excited about that.
that's
I was
good.
sad that there's not any left though, because I love turkey.
Well, my sister loaded us all up because it was at her house and we stayed the night and watched movies and
Aw.
had a good time. But she loaded my parents and my nieces with her and then myself up with take home. She's like, no leftovers in the house. I ate on those leftovers for 2 days.
I
I
think
love.
that's the best part about Thanksgiving is
I
leftovers.
made rice dressing, so
Oh,
oh,
nice.
that's good.
so it was the rice dressing, regular dressing. We had turkey, ham, duck, and then of course my nephew only eats macaroni and cheese and ham. He's 20 some years old, but you know. And then the giblet gravy. And then we had some pies and cakes. So again, just overstuffed.
Mhm.
For the first time, I actually remembered to get the rolls to cook enough
The
so
rolls,
that
too.
the rolls
Rolls,
and so that would have
the
enough for
rolls.
sandwiches. So I've had like turkey sliders for several days.
Mm,
Nice.
yes,
And
yes.
I actually cut the cranberry sauce, put it in another container so I could, open and close it.
Yeah,
So that's been nifty. Actually remembering to get everything I needed for the next day.
that's
Yeah.
good. That's good comfort food, especially when the weather's a little cooler, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah, it is.
was. It was nice in between, fast in between food too, for
Yeah.
because I've been, you come back from a holiday and it's like the work didn't go away just because you had to
Ah,
go away.
That's true. That is so true.
So I felt better on Monday afternoon. I was like, okay, well, I got some turkey, I got some cranberry, and I got really nice roll. I'm good. I'm good.
It's quick. It is quick.
Quick, yeah. So I froze what I had, the rest I had left. So
Uh,
I'm not sure how long that'll last. So
or you can make some turkey soup and vegetables and, you know, turkey salad.
I like to make this turkey pumpkin chili. Oh, it's
Ooh.
oh, that's
delicious.
interesting.
Now, I've had turkey chili, but never had the
Turkey,
pumpkin in it.
pumpkin in it, really?
So what
Yeah.
do? You just put pumpkin seasonings in it? Or?
No, you put a whole can of pumpkin in it. And so you put like as much as you want bell peppers. I like to make it colorful and use one of each color. And then
Green, red, yellow.
turkey, put a pumpkin, put whatever chili seasoning, you know, like chili tomatoes and tomato paste, and a can of pumpkin, mix it all together and let it simmer for 8 hours in the crock pot.
Wow.
It's
I have to
delicious.
try that.
Yes.
Super easy too.
Is it a little spicy or tangy?
You can make it as spicy as you want with the chili powder.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Can I put you back on mute for a second? Our guest is here. Tamara. Hi, Tamara. Did I say your name right?
It's Tamara.
Tamara, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. Short-term memory loss. Can we try the share screen so I can make sure we have that right?
Yes. Oh, it says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Okay. I've got your screen. Hold on. It should be enabled now. It says you are screen sharing.
Oh, it still says I can't do it. Just showing your screen.
Let me try again. Okay. I don't even see your avatar on here, so that's strange. Let me try this again.
Okay.
Okay, let's try again. I wonder if I make you the host temporarily, if that will do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, it should just share. Okay, now you screen share.
All right.
Did that work?
Yes. Okay, do you see my presentation?
No, I don't. I see you.
Interesting. I see my presentation.
Okay, let's start all over again. Let's try that.
Okay.
Okay, now I see you full screen. Now I see statutory authority and mission.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Okay, so let's, I'm going to, yeah, perfect. Got it. Okay, we will, all right, let's see. Okay. Okay, can you send it back to me now?
Yes. Oh, you mean the host?
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know how to do that.
I'm laughing with you, okay? It's like so complex. Go down to the bottom where it says share screen.
Okay.
I think that's it. Well, we can leave it this way for now so we don't kill it. Amber, could you unmute? Can you hear me?
Yeah, if you, okay, so if Tamara, right, Tamara,
Camera.
I'm sorry. On the little corner of Marcia's name, there's 3 little dots. If you click on those 3 little dots, it should say make host.
Got it.
Okay. Why I always start early. Try to get this squared away. Okay, if everybody on who's on right now, when you come in, would you mind typing your name and the organization you're from in the chat? That way I have a double record of it. Sometimes the primary situation on the homepage gives me a list and sometimes maybe not. So we have an uneasy relationship with Zoom, quite frankly. Okay. See, I think we have, I have just a phone number on there. Are you Kanisha? 291377.
No, that's not me, Kanisha Moore. I'm with Galveston Co-Care.
Okay, I don't see your avatar here or your face. I got somebody just says 291377. Could you identify yourself? Unmute.
I'm Dottie Gibbs from the Chosen One Foundation.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you coming. I appreciate it.
Okay.
If you could just type, did you type it in from?
Yes, I did.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Laycock, how are you doing? Everybody's muted when they come in. You can unmute.
I had to mute my actual music playing in the room. I'm good.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Deborah, you can unmute. Okay, she's away from. We're going to give it another 2 minutes. We're going to start exactly at 2, and people will just have to kind of come in and sign in when they get there. Our guest, Ms. Wright, has an immediate appointment today. So she's going to be first on our list, on our agenda. I'm going to, open the meeting and then say the prayer. And then we're going to listen to Ms. Wright talk about what can be offered and what resources are available at the federal level for us. I can tell you that I've been on that site a lot, and the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness, if you're writing a grant, you can always start with their statistics, just for starters. I'm sure she's going to tell us a bunch of good stuff, but when you do a grant, it's always good to start from the overview, and the overview is, how many homeless are estimated in the United States. And that's the kind of data that they have. So it's wonderful stuff. By the way, hi, Carla. How are you?
Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing?
How are you doing?
Good.
So these are resources that really help with any grant application you do. It's just real good stuff. And she's going to explain what the government is, their concern, obviously, with homelessness and what their prevention efforts are. Okay. Madeline, could you sign in the chat your name and what organization you're with?
I'm Madeline. I'm an intern at Endeavors.
Okay, could you just sign in so we know you're there? Zoom is supposed to keep everybody's name. That's not quite how it works all the time. Okay, so we're going to get started because our guest, Ms. Wright, has got another appointment, and we want to hear what she's got to say. Anybody else, just come on in and sign in later when you just put in the chat, and we will get to the rest of the agenda. I'm calling the meeting to order at 2:00. This is the Gulf Coast Homeless Coalition in Galveston County. We welcome everybody who came today, and we hope you get some value out of this opportunity. Could I get you to mute, Deborah?
Oh, yes, I'm on mute. I was on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, could you mute now?
Oh, mute myself? All right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate it. Caregivers prayer. Dear God, bless us as caregivers of our community. Bless us as we bring hope to the poor, sick, and homeless. Bless us as we care for the most vulnerable in our community. Bless us with your knowledge as we seek solutions for the troubles we are facing during this very difficult time. Bless us and bring us peace as we strive to do good in our community. Amen. I will introduce our guests. I know I'm going to say your name wrong now, just because you've said it.
Tamara.
Tamara. We have with us Tamara Wright. She's the regional coordinator for the U.S. Interagency on Homelessness, and they are the lead government agency concerned with homeless in our country. So give us a moment. We're going to share the screen now, or at least we're going to try to get it right again. And okay, you're the host.
All right. Can you see my screen okay?
Everybody see the screen?
Perfect. I see a thumbs up.
All right.
Awesome. So hello, everyone. My name is Tamara Wright, and I'm the USICH Regional Coordinator for Regions 6 and 7. And I have the pleasure of having the state of Texas. It really means that I have about 8 states, in New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri. I think that's it. But basically what we are charged with is USICH is the only federal agency with the sole mission of reducing and ending homelessness. We are originally authorized by Title II of the Stewart-McKinney Homeless Assistance Act of 1987 to serve as an independent establishment within the executive branch. And most recently, we were reauthorized by the Hearth Act of 2009. And we are charged by Congress to come up with annual federal strategic plans to end homelessness. Some of you may have been familiar with Opening Doors and Home Together, working on those to try to utilize our resources to the best extent possible, making sure that we're really maximizing what scarce resources we do have. So again, our roles and activities really we're sort of like the council is like our board, right? So the council chair is Secretary Marcia Fudge, the Secretary of HUD, and our vice chair is Secretary Dennis McDonough, who's the Secretary of the VA. And then the council includes our other 19 federal agencies, such as the Department of Interior, Department of Labor, et cetera. And really, they're overseeing the strategic movement of our federal resources and really looking at how to at least try to make sure that we're all on the same page, although we know that, working with HUD grants and then DOL grants and VA grants, none of them are really the same or have the same definition. So it's quite difficult to try to get everybody on the same page. But we also really work toward a lot of communication activities, making sure that information is getting out to the field and that resources are getting out to the field. If you go to usich.gov, we provide a lot of tools and resources, from case studies to we have a new one-pager out there about the resources that are available in the American Rescue Plan and how you can access those. We also have a DC-based policy team that coordinates strategies across the federal agencies and engages in industry and issue guidance. It's through that policy team that a lot of our federal strategic plan work comes together. And then we have the field-based national initiatives teams, which is what I'm a part of. That's our regional coordinators. And then you may be familiar with Bev Ebersold, who is our national director for national initiatives. We also have a finance administration office where they provides resources for teams to effectively implement and disseminate policy priorities. I don't know if a few of you were on our call yesterday with Texas Homeless Network. We had a listening session with that COC, and we were also able to provide paid gift cards to people experiencing homelessness that were able to participate in that feedback session. We also have a legislative affairs office, which articulates the agency's policies, position, and connects the overarching agency priorities to legislative affairs. And then, of course, we have the Office of Executive Director, who is interim Anthony Love right now, who was with the VA previously. And that's really the face of USICH and links the administration priorities back to the agency, responsible for oversight and implementation of the agency's mission, and more specifically, really honing in on our federal strategic plan. So that, in a nutshell, is what USICH, the Interagency Council on Homelessness, does. And again, we're coordinating that federal response. So we're working with all of these different agencies to make sure that we're all working together and all have shared priorities. And if we can't share definitions and priorities exactly the same, at least we're aware of each other and how to plug into the larger system. And that's really the hard work, right? It's trying to plug in all these different puzzle pieces to a puzzle that's not quite perfect. Nothing quite fits perfectly, but we have to be creative and innovative in order to kind of get everything working together. We also look at performance measurement and accountability. So we do have the federal criteria and benchmarks, which is what we are using to demonstrate that you have an effective system to reduce and end homelessness rather quickly. And so that's also what we are charged with. We really want communities to be working toward that end to homelessness. So some of our working groups include subpopulations. We might be very familiar with the work that we did starting under General Shinseki with, or Secretary Shinseki with the VA with veterans. And we had significant progress in reducing homelessness there. We've also had a lot of goals around ending chronic homelessness, families with children, unaccompanied youth, and of course, American Indians and Alaskan Natives. And most recently, we've been issue and strategy based, with the CARES Act and all the homelessness funding that went into that. We've really been trying to make sure that communities know what is available and know how to access those different things. And so if you look on our website or if you subscribe to our newsletter, we make sure that you're up to date on all of those new funding initiatives and what is allowable under those new funding initiatives. We also work with the Department of Labor and make sure that employment and homelessness are intrinsically linked. And we also work with the implementation of definitions of homelessness. So that's something that we're really working towards right now with our federal strategic plan, is just really understanding how we can center racial equity and how federal definitions of homelessness and federal definitions of, say, chronic homelessness in particular might be perpetuating continued inequities in the system. And so really trying to look at where we can, as a federal agency, even though we're not supposed to advocate, really try to show evidence and give ideas of where we can be the leader as the federal government in reducing some of these inequities. And so those are some of our interagency working groups. And we're part of creating a national partnership. So this map right here shows the different regions and how they're broken down. It's a little bit out of date. California and Arizona are now one region. The gray region that you see there is some of my region. And so we work with regional and state interagency councils. We work with governors, mayors, and county elected leaders, faith-based and nonprofit organizations, the private sector, philanthropy, really trying to make sure that this is a priority for elected officials, that this is a priority for everybody that's working to end homelessness in your community, that we all have a shared goal, that we have a shared aim, and that we are working with our resources that we have to try to drive those reductions and make sure that people aren't experiencing homelessness for long periods of time, and that it's a rare, brief, and a one-time experience. I know that after the pandemic, we've really got our work cut out for us, because it's been, just so terrible for everybody involved. I've listened around the country to some of the community leaders that just say that they have pivoted, they have worked and tried to do everything they could even in this pandemic, and they are now burnt out. We've seen increases. We've seen rent just skyrocket. We know that affordable housing has not been being built at the level that it should be. And so we've really got our work cut out for us, but I know that I'm motivated to do my part. And I hope that you all make sure to take some rest and don't try not to burn yourself out, because we need you in this work more than ever. So just want to remind y'all to definitely make sure you're taking care of yourself. We also want to make sure that we're strengthening practices, that we're looking at what's happening on the ground and we're really amplifying that and learning from that. We have more than 80 new resources a year on key issues and strategies. And of course, with the American Rescue Plan, with the CARES Act, and fingers crossed, the Build Back Better, we're going to have a lot more resources to work with. And if there was ever a time to put a dent in ending homelessness and having drastic reductions in your communities, now's the time. Now's the time to really be advocating for your sector to really continue on those evidence-based practices, to really push to have more affordable housing availability, to really educating the communities around you, doing a lot of conferences and training, media engagement and things like that, to really start to move the needle. And we can't do this alone. We all have to do this together. It has to be all boats rowing in the same direction. And if we can't do it with this once in a generation funding that we're about to have access to, then I don't know when we're going to be able to do that. So our essential strategies in driving progress include working with the federal agencies, working in close partnership with states and communities, and setting ambitious goals. Again, looking at those federal criteria and benchmarks, and really working to get your system set up in a way that's going to generate significant momentum and solve this problem. It is solvable, as we have learned. We also want to keep learning about what it means to end homelessness and keep adjusting to what we're seeing in the communities around us. This isn't a black and white field. There's very much a lot of gray area. There's a lot of individual things that are happening. And so we really want to just keep learning and keep focusing on how we can improve our system continuously. It's something that's just going to have to be worked on forever and ever. And that's good, because things never stay the same. The only thing constant is change, as they say, right? So our progress so far has been pretty outstanding, though. This is a slide that needs to be updated as well. We've actually had 82 communities in 3 states that have ended veteran homelessness, and 4 communities have ended chronic homelessness. So we've made some progress, and we want to continue on that progress. And I definitely want to just offer myself to be a thought partner and be here for when you have questions about how to use the American Rescue Plan dollars, how to make connections with other people around the country that are really doing innovative things. And so that's my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Does anyone have any questions? For example, can we get the link to the one-page document you were talking about? Is that for the American Rescue Act funds?
Yes. Let me put that in here.
Michelle Wormley wants to know, can you give us, send us a copy of the PowerPoint and we'll share, I can share it with all of our members?
Of course, yes.
Okay, and that link is in the chat box, Guide to American Rescue Plan Funding, that impacts people experiencing homelessness. Can I ask you, the money that was released to the state in Texas was $66 million, and this area is supposed to get like 30 million. Is that American Rescue Plan or Build Back Better plan?
That's
Money.
American Rescue Plan.
That's American Rescue Plan.
Yes.
Does the Build Back Better plan have any funding that'll be available for homelessness?
Absolutely. It has a lot of affordable housing funding in there, but it hasn't passed the Senate yet. So
right.
Hopefully that passes soon though. But yes, it has unprecedented amount of affordable housing funding in there.
The money that's already been released, it was released to the state, then to the county, and now to the city. Is there some sort of standardized application or advice that was given to them, or is it totally discretionary?
It's based on an allotment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's discretionary about how the states and the cities divide that up and what they use it for. Okay.
So at our level in Galveston City, we're going to be dependent on what the city is discretionary, essentially. Yes. Okay, so the county has already made it clear that's discretionary. They're giving some of it away. So but people who are out in the county, that's something that they need to know. Harris County, of course, is the bigger county. We have several of our members that are based in Harris County. So who should they check with?
You could start the conversation with Texas Homeless Network and your Texas Housing Finance Agency and see exactly how they're dividing that up. I would also suggest the HUD rep, and I can email those contacts to you. Okay, thank you. The financing agency in our state would be the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. Okay. Okay. That's usually a good place to start to see where things have kind of landed. Where the money is. Yeah. Yeah, we'd like to, because you read it in the newspaper and the question of, yeah, well, what does that mean to our organization? You know, that's always the question. Okay. Anybody else? Can you put your question in the chat? I'm not sure how to get back. You can also email me. I'm going to put my email in there. Okay, thank you. So if something comes up. I have one new message. Okay. So she's also provided her email for anyone who wants to know how to contact her. This wasn't exactly in your presentation, but tell us about, I use I'm on your email list, and I'm forever looking for good statistics. Can you kind of give us an overview of the kinds of things you're measuring that an average nonprofit could utilize? So a lot of what we're finding is through HUD. So we are measuring permanent housing placements, the need of more units. We're looking at point in time counts, things of that nature. The point in time counts. Yes. Is there still some sort of ongoing discussion about doing one of those in the summer? I know
they tried it here, and I wasn't sure if that was a state initiative from Texas Homeless Network or if that's being discussed where you are.
I'm not sure. I would have to confer with HUD on that.
Because we have noticed, those of us who, and we do have a point in time count coming. People are pretty smart about this. They're not, a lot of them around here, and it's probably because it's a tourist trap, aren't in the streets on January 27th. They make it their business not to be. And we were wondering if we could do better if we had 2 points of data sets. Because in the summertime, there's a lot of homeless hanging out.
Yeah, I know Phoenix used to do 2 a year, so, but I don't think it was required. They just did that on their own.
Okay.
But I can certainly ask about that as well.
Well, before Ms. Wright has to make a run for it, she's got exactly 30 seconds. Does anybody else have a question other than me, who's just being utterly nosy at this point? Anybody else have a question? So in the chat, you've got the link to where to go. You have her personal contact. We want to thank you for coming and explaining what you do. I don't want to be the only geek on your email list. I want everybody to geek up and get on that email list because it's really good information.
Yes, and you can sign up for our email list on our website.
Thank you so much. Can you send the hosting thing back to me?
Yes.
Okay. If we can figure that out.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. So we are appreciate her coming because it's actually not that easy to get somebody in Washington to show up in good old Galveston County. But we appreciate that. And she provided the links. Please take advantage. Wherever that money is, we want to have influence over that money, even if it's not big money. The homeless aren't ever top of mind, bear it in mind in government. Okay, quickly, Treasury report. The bank balance is the same, 26, 29, 23. Bank account still frozen. Gail and I both are going to be free next week, and we're going to try to get all that straightened out and have some more comprehensive reporting for you. President report. The PIT count is January the 27th. And it also says the 28th. We rarely go that long, but it is sheltered and unsheltered count unless the new variant interrupts it. But HUD is proceeding as if we're going to go forward. Myself and Mr. Laycock have already taken the Galveston Island and mainland training. There are changes to the Counting Us app. I took the training so that I can be the test bunny on that. I'm going to retake that training several times and test the theory. It's never, depending on your familiarity with apps, it's like our Zoom crashed out yesterday. Crap happens with this. So what I'm going to do is make sure I have this under my belt by mid-December. If you want to work with me, we will do a Zoom call, phone call, whatever you're comfortable with, and we will make sure we get this right. Because we lost data a few years ago because people did not know how to use the application. And the assumption that that video is going to be enough, I'm lived experience. It wasn't enough for a lot of people. And yeah, because stuff happens, should we not have a paper copy? You should. The question of they're going to let us do it is a good one. We all asked that during the training. What I've provided for you in the agenda and in the email is the list of the trainings. The one that you need to take is the mobile app webinar recording. That is the first one on that list. It also has the Counting Us app link. Please watch the training first because yeah, I did. Michelle is explaining we should emphasize the spotty reception. Yes, we should. There's just not a lot of understanding that you just can't do everything on your app. I've did that whining before. I got us paper apps and there were still problems. So we're going to try again. I will continue to ask for paper copies. And we're going to, if you have any trouble with that app at all, starting with the fact that the app, they reconfigured it, and I'm warning you up front that at the sign-in level is different. It's confusing. Before, if you were the person who used the app on your phone, the app recognizes you. Now it may recognize you, but it's going to give you a shopping list of actual dates. So just right off the top, it's confusing. So I will try that and ask members if we will work together. We'll, do some buddy activity and make sure we get this right. Because like I said, I was eyewitness to the fact that we lost a bunch of data messing with the application. Volunteers, I got an email from Reverend Lawson. He showed me a copy of another COC that had asking for volunteers. I'm going to do that, but I need some sort of firm response from Texas Homeless Network as to when volunteer training will be available. I have no such date. All they kept saying is we're not going to do it until December. We don't want volunteers doing training before December. I have no idea what that means, but I'm going to start hounding her immediately and say, give me a date, because I'm not going to have people volunteering to work with us, especially if it is an unsheltered count where we'll be outside and not have any idea when that volunteer training is going to take place. The other reason for that is that the volunteer training is mandatory. They're making it mandatory on their end. So it is just good manners to tell people, yes, you can be a volunteer. Yes, follow this link on December the 5th or whatever. That's just kind of reasonable. So I am going to see if I can pin her down to a date. Here in Galveston, I am keeping an eye on the ball to find out when they're going to start divvying up this money. The mayor was very gracious on the fact that the Zoom link fell apart. Hopefully he will be our speaker in January. We are hopefully lining up some other speakers. I have requested a speaker from Episcopal Health Foundation. Episcopal Health Foundation just won an international award for their data sets. Their data sets are fabulous. If you have not gone to Episcopal Foundation for data on social determinants of health, now's your big chance. Amber may be familiar with them. They were one of their, I hope they're continuing to be their funders, but they have an entire map of COVID. They also did 2 fabulous reports on how damaging COVID was in minority communities in our area. They cover a big area, including Galveston and Harris County. And we hope we can get introduced to their data sets, at least cursory data sets, and explanation, hopefully for free. So I'm working on the free part that they talk to us, but it is definitely something that benefits you. I can tell you that that's generally accepted as experts by the federal government and the state of Texas. So if you're looking for state funding, if you're looking for funding from like Moody Foundation or Kempner Fund, all that stuff makes a difference. So we definitely want to go there and get that information. Resource and recruitment and planning. If you have not turned in your official membership form, I would deeply appreciate it. We're just trying to get it so all our ducks in a row. When I'm asked by Texas Homeless Network or anybody else who your members are, I have a spreadsheet in the conversation. Here you go, call this person. That's all we're trying to do here, is make sure that there's no questions about our memberships and who belongs. And that's it for today. Does anyone else want to share any opportunities with the rest of us? And you can unmute now. She's no longer the host. Anyone have an opportunity to want to share? Can I send the forms out email? Yes, I will. I will send them out again. I will send them back out, send out forms.
That's only for new members, not old members, right?
Old members too, what I'm trying to do, what I had.
Oh, no, okay, I sent mine in.
Yeah, I know you had it, right. You sent yours in. What I had was incomplete information. I would have, you know, the name of the nonprofit, the person in that nonprofit isn't attending because they're not there anymore. For example, Melvin Williams was listed as a member. Okay, and as those of us who live here, Melvin passed away very recently. So it's that kind of thing. We have old phone numbers, old addresses. We're just trying to catch up. Old members and new members just know who you are. Anyone have any things they want to share about the activities for the holidays? Toy giveaways, anything?
I've got a question first.
Yeah.
I don't know if you talked about this. Did you decide on the items for the 4 imprint?
I'm sorry?
Did you decide on the items, the promotional gifts?
No, we didn't. And I don't know how I missed that page. I'm so excited about the fact I got the email to where the money was. I'm so sorry. Can everybody live with t-shirts, and I can ask for that? And then if they,
I'll email you what I have. There were a couple of t-shirts, a men's t-shirt, a women's t-shirt, and then there was a over the shoulder tote that would fit within the budget.
Can everybody else go look at that link and see what you want? They only give us $500, but for $500, we could get a bunch of t-shirts or totes or something with the Homeless Coalition logo on it. It's a great little grant. Children's Center got a bunch of free cups and extras and labels. It's a great little grant. It's not a big grant, but it's great.
I really think the t-shirts would be good, especially when we go out for the Homeless Council. We can be identified as a group.
I think so too. Well, they're not real fast. So if everybody can agree on t-shirts, I can try for t-shirts. T-shirts and a few totes. It's not an exact science. For example, I needed labels and cups, and I had money left over, and I had to get something small to fill it in. I got keychains or something for the Children's Center. So if we can all kind of put in the chat, yes, we'll go with t-shirts, and anything left over, we'll go for totes. How about that? Can everybody kind of vote on that? Okay, because I need to get to applying for this. It's the holidays. I'm not 100% sure. They're not real swift. And the 27th, it was nice to have it for the pit count. You know, I wore a t-shirt over my jacket for the pit count a few years ago, you know, because I'll be honest with you, I asked for the police chief, or not the police chief, I asked the city for those bright orange little vests so we wouldn't get mowed over. See what? So I don't think we get them bright orange. We get white with our logo, and they'll be kind of cute. Everybody can work with that. By the way, and I guess I was excited. We got the email for at least to start looking for money. I don't know what you guys know, but the Children's Center is having a very hard time with our homeless shelter. We're just out of it. COVID we had to take care of. Nobody had daycare. Nobody had jobs for almost 2 years. So it's just tough right now for everybody, you know, and if we can get some rescue money or whatever, it would really help. We have 50 people in our shelter right now today. 70% of them are children. And it's just, it's an overwhelming situation, to be very honest with you at this point. And local sources are not real friendly. And you really can't get people from out of state to support your shelter when they got their own shelter. So those are one of those things down the line, the Homeless Coalition, we hope we can address and intervene in. There is intervention in like Abilene. Abilene's one of those cities where they are built for zero and there are no homeless veterans. And I know they have a great deal of oil money in Abilene. but maybe we can contact them and, you know, see if there's something they can give us some advice on. How did they pull that off? Because I'm sure not every oil person in town wanted to help the homeless. That'd be my best guess. But this is a tourist town, and that's kind of an issue. The minutes were delayed. We just had one bad thing after another happen to us last month. They're going to exist. We had Deborah had family, you know, death and family, just bad news last month. You name it, it went wrong. The file got corrupted. That's why I told you to put it in the chat box, the list of people that came, all 32 of them, couldn't get their names, had to backtrack. So it just was, every once in a while you have an event that's cursed. That was it. Anybody else? Anybody doing holiday stuff, needing help with toys? Yes,
I would
ma'am.
like to state that we are having Kelly's Angels.
Yes, ma'am.
People are from the community have adopted students, a student or students, and many of the children that's at the Children's Center are on our Kelly's Angels list. Last year, we were able to assist every student at the Children's Center. This year, I know we have, I haven't seen the complete list, but I know a lot of your kids are on our list. In addition, prior to Thanksgiving, we provided lots of sheets and towels and pillowcases and things like that to the Children's Center. And I also like to say toward the end of last year, our NAACP as a sponsor, but our state organization provided 2 truckloads of items from Bed Bath and Beyond to the Children's Center. So
wow,
things like that, they were looking for organizations that they could contribute to. We as an organization recommended the Children's Center. So if you had other organizations and they want to provide, because at the end of the year, a lot of your business such as Bed Bath, they're trying to get rid of a lot of things and they're brand new things. And so they'll do donations. So I do know y'all got 2 18-wheelers of donations on behalf of our local NAACP.
Mary, will the GISD let you write a column about this so you can let people know what's going on with the homeless students?
The Bed Bath and Beyond, the 2 18-wheelers was from our local NAACP. The Kelly's Angels, it's all our children, but our homeless foster care and some of our SES students, but a lot of your homeless kids from the shelter are on our list. So we don't identify students per se, but I know there's supposed to be an article in the paper where we had somebody to call just yesterday.
Oh, good.
Bicycles. I mean, so we're getting the donations. I had a call this morning from one of the churches. They want to, and one organization adopted like 20 students. So we've got, they're doing these, the adoptions of our students. So the students are able to list 3 of their needs and 3 of their wants. And we assign numbers to individuals and they go out and shop for the student. And we'll do a drive-by where the parent and the student must pick up their things.
That's wonderful. I wish we had our radio station back. This is the kind of stuff we were doing, is letting people know. That's fantasy way off in the future here. Anybody else?
You know what, Marsha, you could check with Ball High. Mr. Dudas has a group that they do live broadcasting.
They do.
Yes.
Who is in charge of that?
Mr. Dudas.
Dudas, because
the high school.
The Chamber of Commerce is always on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering why we weren't having social services on there.
All you have to do is make the request. You make the request of your organization.
Well, why can't we have you on?
You don't want me on there. So I'm a district employee. They'll think,
Oh.
We'll
think of something.
It says a lot more if somebody from the coalition that's not a part of GISD.
Okay. All right, let me,
right, Michelle?
let me, yeah, well, I know, that's why I'm asking, because I know it's politically complicated in this town, and we don't want anybody to lose their job because they're begging for children, which in this town, well, what can I say?
But this community has been absolutely fabulous. I mean, we even gave last week provided week before last provided blankets because Again, our local NAACP last year, our contribution to the community was to bring in blankets. And so members of our organization brought blankets. So we distribute those blankets to students last year, especially our unaccompanied youth. But also we had those left over. So we provided some to you all a few weeks ago.
And that's another thing. Even if we have an unsheltered count, we had collected stuff for the count last year and they refused to let us give it out. I'm glad you said the word blanket. Yeah, I don't know what that means either. Let me ask, can we give anything out? Because they prohibited it. We had a member who wanted to do it and quite frankly threatened to do it without him. And we got a really negative response. But it was that response also came from HUD. So let me check on that. I don't know if they consider that to be too close or what. This has gotten to be very confusing because they won't give us any guidance to the last minute.
Well, the good thing about the things that we gave, they were wrapped.
Oh, okay, yeah. That'll do it. Definitely. And if I will talk to Mr. Dudas. What's his name?
Dudas,
maybe well, that might open up a whole nother venue for us.
I'll send you his email address, Marcia.
Thank you. Great. That is wonderful. Anybody else? And Mary, please mention your meeting this evening. I can't let you do that without it. Don't you have a meeting on the 8th in the evening?
Yes.
Just say the meeting.
Next Thursday, yes, at 7 o'clock.
It's the meeting about redistricting. I'll say the word.
Oh no, the redistricting meeting is tomorrow morning.
It's tomorrow morning. Okay, great. Okay.
Tomorrow morning, the redistricting meeting is tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
If you could, it's either in person or by Zoom.
Okay.
And if you want to do by Zoom, you need to go in and register today on the City Hall website. And you pull up it says future agendas. Pull up the agenda, and the link is on there.
And again, I need to caution members, there is a HUD law about your nonprofit. You're representing your nonprofit. You need to register for Zoom as a person, as an individual, as a citizen. Because if you register as, Jane from the Children's Center, then HUD, can consider you to be a lobbyist. And for those of you who write state and federal grants, that is an actual question. Have you been lobbying? So don't even open up the can of worms. But as a human being and as a citizen, certainly no one should be denied their civil rights and should have the right to speak up about voting in America.
Now,
Short,
I have
I
have a quick question. I was following the last meeting wherein they had cut out the last minority representative deal for the commissioners. So I thought it was over, but I also noticed
that was the county, Michelle, okay. But tomorrow is the city one. The city is redoing their lines. The
right.
County, yes, they have voted. It's not over.
Yeah, it's not over, but yeah, they voted.
Right.
Now, does one need to be a resident in the city of Galveston?
Good question. I don't think you can.
I participate in it. I don't live in Galveston, but I'm active in many organizations in Galveston. So I do participate because of that.
It's a concern all over the
even
country.
If you're not
right
a citizen of Galveston.
It's happening all over America. It's difficult.
If you could email out that link again, hopefully I don't have any conflict. I would love to go on, but I was wondering if because I wasn't a resident of Galveston, whether or not it would have had any impact. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Christmas, holidays, toys, gifts, food. always a good discussion during holidays. All righty, our next meeting is December I should know this already, December the 5th, I think. I mean,
January
January the 5th, sorry. I was just trying to get through this meeting in one piece without anything bad happening. It's January the 5th. And I have, the mayor was very, very kind and forgiving, and I will see if we can get the mayor to come or somebody else. But again, with the mayor, or maybe he'll send the city manager. This is about the 30 million bucks.
Okay.
Think about what we need and what we can request to get in front of it. Okay.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Happy
Merry
holidays to
Christmas,
everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Kwanzaa,
Merry Christmas.
Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa. Is there anything else? Denali? No, I think that was last month. All right.
Diwali.
Diwali, is that what it is?
Diwali, yeah.
Okay, sorry, not fluent. Thank you. We will adjourn this meeting at 2:44 today. Thank you so much, guys, for coming.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Have a good.
You too.
Oh.